why don't you have a fucking profile pic on your Venmo?
What do you mean?
Who
has that?
Me!
You're a freak!
I have it, so people know that you're messaging or sending money to the right person.
I guess.
You're just some... you could be anybody.
I'm some W.
Yeah. You're more of an L than a W.
No! Rude.
It bothers me. What if I actually I just Venmo'd you? What happens if I actually send money to the wrong person?
I feel like I have such a unique username. It shouldn't be a problem.
I'm gonna now start like 4 different Venmo profiles that are all just variations of your name.
You're terrible.
And I'll make it a problem for you and you alone.
You're an animal. A savage beast.
Retribution. And with that, welcome everybody to episode 49 of You're Ridiculous.
Woo woo woo!
Wolf, we're 1 away from the big 50.
Oh yeah, our special anniversary.
I know, you gotta tune in for that. That'll be next week though.
Yeah.
Well, sort of next week. It's coming out on Halloween, a couple days earlier than normal.
You get it a little early.
Yeah, as a treat for you lovely, stinky viewers.
Stinky.
Last week we talked about episode 7 and 8 of Rings of Power.
No, we sure did. It was quite the finale.
And that was all we talked about.
Yeah.
For a whole fucking hour and a half.
Oh, we had so much to say.
I guess we did talk about that guy who like had melting skin in Survivor.
That's true. That took up a lot of time.
Shout out to Scoopin.
Skin Melty McGee.
Unfortunate that his name is Scoopin.
Is it actually?
It is. That's his last name.
Scoop.
So if you were like an iconic Survivor player, Jeff Probst, the host, would give you the nickname of calling you by your last name.
Yeah.
Instead of your first name, and it's actually like a pretty big deal to be referred to by your last name. Like it's a lot of people like that like Survivor want to be called by the last name and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he already got like the last name title, but unfortunately ever since then he's also called Scoopin just because of him melting in the fire is such a big deal.
His only iconic moment. His most shameful moment.
True, when he came back the second time, he didn't make much of a splash.
Yeah, had to tone it down.
Kind of squandered it. He was like 15 years older, but still.
Wow.
Yeah, well, originally, it doesn't matter. Who cares? I was going to get into it, but I already talked about him enough, so.
Can't resist sharing the Survivor trivia.
Oh, it's just too good. It's fun. Anyways, that's not what you're here for. You're here for this week's topics.
Yeah, which are?
We'll be talking about more anime, well, anime in general, from fall 2022.
That's right.
It'll be Chainsaw Man and BlueLock this time.
The 2 big hitters on Crunchyroll, along with the other 2, My Hero and Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
Golden year for anime.
True. I watched Mob Psycho on Hulu, though.
You only watched 2 episodes of it.
2.5. Yeah, you'll find out more about that next week, though.
Oh, man.
And what my downfall of finishing the 3rd episode. being sleepy.
So.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about Chainsaw Man a little bit and then BlueLock. It'll be a shorter episode, but we gave you a longie last week and an extra long one next week.
Yeah. You're perfectly fed.
Wolf, which one would you like to start with?
Let's start with Chainsaw Man, the big one that everyone's raving about.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man is animated by Studio Mappa, who are also responsible for Jujutsu Kaisen and the final season of Attack on Titan. It's about a boy named Denji. They
changed studios for the last season?
They did.
How did that go over?
Really well. They did it's Mappa. You see their stuff.
No, I know they're good, but like, even a good studio, if they change the style or whatever, they could completely bungle something.
Yeah, the style did change a bit, but only because it got more detailed. I think the previous studio just didn't want it anymore.
I gotcha. Yeah, is that as if Attack on Titan needs to be more detailed?
I know.
They're going to enlarge the Titan ass cheeks.
I want to see the individual hairs on its ass.
Anyways, yeah, no, they're great, so I'm not surprised that they're doing a great job with Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. It's about, what do you call it? This boy named Denji, whose shithole father killed himself and lumped him with a bunch of debt from, effectively, the mafia.
Pretty much.
And he grows up working off to pay that debt, being a devil hunter with his newfound devil friend, Pochita. He's like a dog-ish, but he's shaped like a chainsaw.
He is. He's a devil pet dog chainsaw boy.
Yeah, chainsaw devil.
Yeah. He's a little cutie.
Indeed, adorable. And in a tragic turn of events, Denji gets led to his death, and so Pochita merges with them, and now he is the Chainsaw Man.
That's right. He was tricked by the Yakuza, effectively.
He was, basically.
That scene was pretty cool.
It was.
I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of, like, just the slasher motif, because that essentially was what that scene was.
Yeah.
But the lead up to it was really cool, how the zombie devil talks about enslaving all these people that wanted demonic power.
Yep.
And he gave them demonic power, but unfortunately, as everybody should know, that if you make a deal with a devil, there's always a twist to it.
Yeah, and they lost themselves in receiving the power. Now they're just slaves with power.
Classic Disney quote from Princess and the Frog. You got what you wanted, but you lost what you had.
Ah!
It all comes back to Disney.
Topical.
Talk about the devil titan industry.
Yeah!
When are they going to show up in Chainsaw Man?
The devil to Disney pipeline.
True. And then we're introduced to a couple new characters after that scene.
Yeah, we got Makima. She seems to be like the head of some devil hunting agency. And in the next episode, there's Aki, some guy that works for Makima. Gets his balls kicked inwards like 5 times.
Oh my god. That scene was so unsettling, but absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Denji literally just says, he effectively says, I see you fight fair. Unfortunately for you, I don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely slams the guy's nuts into the dirt.
Yeah.
And then the guy gets up, goes in for a second shot, and Denji just goes again.
Doesn't even try to block it. He warned him.
He's like, I will do it again, and I will keep doing it. And he does. It was, painful to watch, as I'm sure some people know, but hilarious.
Indeed.
And really gives you a sense of Denji's sort of character.
Yeah.
Not like the morality character, but just who Denji is as a person is sort of.
He's a scrappy little fighter, not a trained warrior.
Right. He does what he does to survive, not to be fair and honorable.
Yeah. We also
really cool.
Power right at the end of the last episode.
We sure do, which is quite the name. We find out she's a fiend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And a fiend is just a devil that has taken host over a dead corpse, basically.
Yeah.
A dead human. And they have some sort of protruding devil feature of some kind.
But she just looks like a normal girl.
She looks like she's wearing those fake devil horns. I mean, they all have big titties.
They do indeed.
That's what's driving Denji to work for him.
Makima had big titties, and then so did Power.
Yeah, I want to know more about. I mean, obviously we'll get there. Oh, I guess this is a good point. Before I get into that, have you read Chainsaw Man the manga?
No.
Okay, I haven't either. So I have no. Yeah, I'm going in blind.
As blind as I can be with the way the TikTok algorithm works.
Right.
Oh, you like Chainsaw Man? Here's videos from people who read the manga.
Yeah, I haven't. TikTok hasn't updated that for me yet, so I'm sure I'll get there. One watch or one view of any TikTok for Chainsaw Man, it'll be over.
Oh yeah.
I won't be able to get rid of it.
Unleashes the floodgates.
Yeah, that's right. Gives me the key and unlocks it. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm really interested to find more about Makima because she's got some fucked up eyes.
Oh yeah, spooky.
And it kind of makes me think that she might be a fiend or something like that.
Right.
Or some other subclass of human/devil thing that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Especially with her mentioning that she's got such a good sense of smell.
Yeah, and she's like intentionally gathered all these like special cases of weird combos of devil and human.
She's making the Avengers, but for devils. So it's interesting. I really like her. I mean, I think the writing sort of prompts you to enjoy her from the start.
Yeah.
You want to be, the writers have intentionally wrote her so from your point of view, you're Denji, that you want to like her right away, just like Denji does.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And I think that's really cool.
Indeed.
The animation slaps.
Oh, incredibly.
It's really, really good. I like the opening scene itself. It's just Denji walking on the side of the road. And it shows really nice panoramic views of the forest, since he's also sort of, or was, like a forester.
Yeah, he was doing a job.
Or a logger.
Like,
yeah, he was doing a logger. And then it shows views of the city and all that stuff. And it's like really, really well done. It looks nice.
Very pretty. Cinematic.
Yeah. Not that I'm really surprised, just because like a lot of great scenes from JJK are obviously really well done too.
Yeah. Funny thing about the animation, you know the scene with the zombies where he's like hacking them up?
Yeah, yeah.
It's so well animated. It hit like the uncanny valley for some people to the point they thought it was CGI.
Oh! Can you imagine?
Yeah, and it was such a big, like, quote-unquote complaint that the studio released the rough animation for that scene. You're like, it's not CGI, you assholes.
Oh, that was an old... Or not that they're copying anything, because that's obviously not how it works, but there was a really famous movie that had such realistic effects. It was like, you know, before, like, actual CGI and stuff. They thought, that this murder that was taking place was an actual murder that this actor was committing.
Wow.
And the police went to the studio and like questioned everybody on set or everybody that was a part of the set, and then questioned the actors and everything. It was like a whole thing because how real it looked.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so it's funny to hear it even like in today's sort of thing where the animation can be so realistic like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Like, a part of me kind of thought that the chainsaw head was maybe CGI, but not all of it, hand-drawn.
Interesting.
And someone even proved it earlier, like, they went frame by frame, and they were like, because you couldn't see, like, the individual, like, teeth on the chainsaw, like you would if it was actually CGI, they were, like, stylized. They're like, so this isn't CGI.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
I liked it. There's only 2 episodes so far.
Yep. Maybe 3 by now.
Maybe 3 by now, sure. And is it just a core, or are we getting a half core, or are we getting a full core?
I have no idea, actually.
Oh, well, we'll find out. Yeah. No, a lot of people hyped it up. I had a couple friends messaging me, and we've also talked about it in your Discord, too.
Yeah.
So,
and people have been hyped for this anime for ages. It really stands out because it got hyped solely because of its manga.
Right.
And now the anime is finally here. There was multiple panels, multiple disappointments after those panels when they didn't show anything.
Classic. All the fans want as much as they can get.
Indeed. They went to, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con, and they had a whole panel dedicated to Chainsaw Man. And when you have that, you think, oh, they've got something to show. They didn't. They just answered some generic questions.
Incredible.
And then they get the Crunchyroll Expo, which is the one I went. Everyone thought, oh, surely they've got something to show now. It's coming soon.
Now's the time.
And they showed us a trailer that was already on YouTube.
Busting your balls.
I know.
Oh, that is tragic. But at least, hopefully, to those that had built up such anticipation, that the payoff was exactly what you were going for.
Yeah. It is for me so far.
Yeah, I think it's great. It was a very easy 2 episodes to watch.
Yeah. I will say about the OP, part of me feels it's good, but part of it's so visually busy, I can't even begin to comprehend what's going on in it.
Okay, so I'll be honest. I didn't skip it either time.
Wow.
But I honestly, I don't really remember it that well.
Yeah, because there's so much.
Right. I intentionally didn't skip it, and I'm trying to do that more often when we talk about anime on the... because I know how often you like talking about them, and I want to be able to contribute. But I don't really remember this one, and you're probably right, because it was so busy.
Yeah.
So,
There's just
That's
the two
weird.
parts where it slows down, which is at the bowling alley, and then at the end where they're doing the little dance.
Okay,
I know there's so much more.
Right, I remember a zoom in on the 4 characters.
Yeah.
The 2 guys and then Makima and Power.
Yeah.
Right, I remember that zoom in and the kind of it pans around each character a little bit, but that's all I really remember. Unfortunate. They sacrificed my boy Pochito.
I know.
Oh.
I want him back already.
His little Bork.
Bork. Speaking of Makima and Power, before I watched it, up until the second episode, I thought they were the same person.
Yeah.
I thought Power, I thought Makima transformed into Power, Magical Girl style or something.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I wonder what is manga. Well, actually, 2 questions. Is manga always in black and white?
Yep. Well, sometimes they do special color splashes, but it's known for being in black and white. Okay,
so I wonder for this one. I'm assuming Chainsaw Man would be in black and white. I'm wondering if the characters in the manga specifically both have pink hair, or if this was a style choice from the studio.
That's a great question. Because I don't think I've seen any color spreads from Chainsaw Man. I've only seen the manga panels. That's why I thought they were the same person.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see, because I totally get that, right? Because we could assume that Makima is a lot like Denji, where they're a combined devil-human, and then it kind of goes to Power's character model.
Yeah.
Because their builds are pretty much the same. Stacked.
Big titty, long hair.
Yeah.
Ass in certain scenes.
Only certain scenes. The face is a little different, but you could just assume that's part of their fiendish, or devil transformation.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Chainsaw Man versus Denji, he doesn't have a chainsaw head, so
correct.
You could assume that the shift of Makima to Power would be their devil transformation.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see or hear about, maybe find out why they had both look so similar.
Yeah.
And especially since they have to wear all the uniforms.
True.
That makes it even worse. That homogenizes the character style.
Could be sisters, could be twins.
True. Anyways, I think my rating so far, a 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, really good. I
give it the 9 out of 10 just because I was spoiled for some mild things, but it's interesting seeing the setup for it so early and how well it's done.
Ooh. Well, luckily I haven't been spoiled.
Yeah, lucky you.
Yeah,
to be able to experience it in real time.
I'm excited to talk with some friends who are really invested in this turning out well. So, check it out if you haven't so far.
Indeed.
It's really good. And with that, this is a really interesting one. This is BlueLock.
Yes.
BlueLock. Here, before you describe it, I want to set the scene a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wolf is not a sports person
Correct.
at all. Neither am I, to be fair. But I would probably say that Wolf is even less of a sports person than I am.
Yeah.
And that's saying something to anybody that knows me. So, when I read the description after Wolf suggested that we watch BlueLock, I was incredibly shocked. Why the fuck are we watching this soccer, aka football, show, right? That was what is this? So
I don't even like sports anime, really.
Right. And I was going in with extremely high expectations. Just from your recommendation alone, knowing that you don't like sports, this has got to be good. And if it's not, I'm going to absolutely shit talk it. And so why don't you explain what it is, and then they can find out if I like it or not.
Alright, yeah. BlueLock, animated by Studio 8-Bit, who are a bit less known, but they're known for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
I've heard of that one.
Oh, nice. It is about a young soccer player, Yoichi Asagi, who has dreams to be the greatest in the world. But Japan's soccer setup, not great. They haven't won the World Cup in years. They haven't even made it to the qualifiers for the World Cup in years.
Yeah.
And so their solution is a program called BlueLock, which will teach they'll pit, 300 people against each other to create the best, what is it called? Striker. Whatever that is in soccer.
Also known as a forward. It's the person that makes all the goals.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Making them reject their Japanese ideals of teamwork and working together in friendship, and to instead be what they call an egoist, as many of the great soccer players are. Which was true, apparently, because they said one of their names, started quoting them, I was like, are these real people? And I looked them up, and they were real!
Most of them were real. The only one I wasn't sure about was the French one that I forget what it was, but it was Noel.
Ah.
They said Noel a couple times, and that was
Isagi's main
hero. Isagi's main guy. I don't remember, not actually sure at that, but they mentioned Messi and Pele. Those are both real and extremely well known, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's great. Surprisingly great. They showed it at Crunchyroll Expo, didn't make it in. Because it was like, it was like a weird day where they didn't have quite enough panels to keep everyone entertained. So everyone was just flooding into whatever they could get into.
Yeah. I agree. Surprisingly really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not even entirely sure as of right now why. Because at its core, it really is a firmly, deeply rooted soccer or football, however you want to do it. We're going to do soccer because we're Americans.
Yeah, that's our word for it.
Yeah, deeply rooted soccer anime. Right? And so that doesn't sound that interesting. But immediately, it reminds me almost of sort of like a superhero anime. Because they all start talking about, their own desires and their own goals that they have, and they want to be the number one best. Yeah. And they start, over the course of the first 3 episodes that are aired so far, you start learning that, these guys have different strengths, different weaknesses. They're not even in this, even though they're all paired as a group of 300, they're not even on the same level.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get better. They're trying to best each other. And it was it reminded me of that sort of thing where they some sort of either supernatural show or someone with magical abilities almost, where you have to tap into that magic within you. It was interesting.
Yeah. As I was watching it, I feel like it was kind of like the Madoka Magica of sports anime. And I assume you haven't watched that. But
I sure haven't. I've heard of it. I know of it.
Yeah, it's a magical girl anime that it was a deconstruction of the magical girl genre.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think that's what's happening here, and that's why it's so interesting, because I watched Haikyuu. I watched it for research purposes. God, it was a slog. I just couldn't
get through
especially
it.
For soccer of all things. I'm pretty sure soccer is up there as pretty boring sports.
It can be. It's one of those sports where you have 1 to 2 goals at the really highest level.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And so that's not exciting for a lot of people, whereas you have something like basketball where the points are getting into the hundreds.
Yeah, they're going back and forth.
Right.
But not as boring as baseball.
True. Baseball, undeniably, I'm glad you agree, undeniably the worst sport to watch. Not close at all. And I will fight to the death on whoever wants to argue that.
Mood. Really funny, when I was in Japan, they were really into baseball. And they were shocked that I wasn't.
Baseball sucks, man. Okay.
I hate it.
Funny thing, baseball sucks, right? Softball, actually not bad. Which is weird because they're essentially the same. They're basically just gender split.
Yeah.
But it's way more interesting to watch because, at least from my experiences, the girls get so much more angry and it's so much funnier to watch. That's true about, at least, again, in my opinion, women's soccer, way more enjoyable to watch than men's soccer. Men's soccer are such bitches. They whine and cry and fake about every injury.
Oh, man.
And then you just have, some women who, pops their dislocated bone back into place.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
Trying to pussy their way into getting a point.
Exactly. Get someone a foul or a red card. Get him thrown off the field. Yeah.
But yeah, to about the deconstruction it seems to be doing. Of course, the premise rejecting like those ideals of friendship and teamwork. Now, those are like the core foundations of any sports anime. Like, if we work together as friends, we can do anything.
Yeah, that's literally the basis of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's a separate anime. It's like the power of friendship will help me draw the card I need. Literally,
that's the power of God and friendship.
It's literally the first episode. But yeah, so they're completely rejecting that, which is amazing.
And the main character is ready to reject that too. Like, he's on the fence, but when it comes down to it, he rejects those notions. Yeah,
he thought about it for a short instance, but he was the first one to run up.
Yeah, he was like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, and join BlueLock.
And the white-haired one,
Kira.
Ryosuke, in any other anime, he'd be the main character. The one like, I'm just doing this so I can prove you wrong.
Yeah.
He gets fucking knocked out in the first round.
I know, I was shocked. I'm like, there's no way they got rid of this guy. I thought, so not only did I think he could have been like the main character or the secondary character, I also thought he was going to quickly turn into the rival of the MC, right? Like, you know, we have I forget the main character's name.
Isagi.
Isagi, right, yeah. There's a couple of them that are pretty similar.
Yeah.
But we have Isagi, who immediately runs in and joins BlueLock, says he wants to be the best, ready to, you know, reject his team. I guess that part doesn't matter because he didn't make nationals, but
yeah,
ready to reject it all. That's true. And so he's ready to reject it all. The other guy, Kira, says he wants to prove Ego, the actual guy who's running the show, wrong. And so I thought it was going to quickly turn into those being cordial and friendly at first because they know each other.
Yeah.
And then turning into enemies or, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was not the case. He was gone in the first episode.
Yeah, fucking, this like unhinged guy with like blonde highlights, Bachira. He like pops in and kind of like facilitates him getting kicked out.
He's got that dog in him.
Oh, yeah.
I got a monster in me. He was great. He is unhinged.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like flipping around.
He was like spider crawling, flipping around. He was asleep for the first half of it.
And then he had like a spidey sense that woke him up.
Literally. And just breaks out, I got that dog in me. I think you got it in you too.
Hungry.
So funny. Oh. And then, yeah. It's literally, if you're still on the fence, imagine if soccer was combined with Squid Game. And that's what it is. If you like Squid Game, give this a chance because they're going through the academy and only one can be the winner.
Yeah.
So think Squid Game, but, you know, soccer and sports related. Really cool.
They don't die, but their soccer career is like ended forever. Like they're not even allowed to participate afterwards.
They can never play for any Japanese national team again.
Yeah.
So they would have to like defect and go to a new country to like play any sort of high level competitive soccer again.
Yeah.
Which is like huge stakes. That's effectively, for a lot of them, it's effectively ending whatever sort of talent or future they thought they would have. If they don't win, that is. So there's a lot on the line for all of them. Also, I love the animations that they're doing with the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of them. It's not just all the same and stuff like that. It's different patterns within the eyes, different like pupil dilations, different colors. You have a lot of sort of like when they channel that monster inside them, their eyes go blue, or Isaga's eyes go blue with like a bit of sort of like light streaming out of them.
Yep, it's got like the scribbly effect on the inside.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so it's doing that with it's just interesting, the close-ups.
Yeah, and I believe they flicked through a lot of characters that are clearly going to be important in the future.
Yeah.
There were like a couple of them whose eyes are like that by default.
Right, yeah. And so it's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about it, but the animation's really good.
Oh yeah, quality.
Like really. I know we had kind of hyped up Chainsaw Man, but I think this might be better, honestly. It's really, really good. Quality. So
unexpected gem.
Yeah, for real.
I hear a soccer anime, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that.
I probably, if you just said soccer, like competitive soccer anime, I would not even like read the description. Which is it's probably way too biased on my end, but people are gonna like what they're gonna like.
Indeed.
So I'm glad you kind of picked this one out, and because it's really good. If you haven't checked it out yet, you're wasting your time.
That's right.
You're wasting your time by not watching it. That is.
Yeah.
What do you rate it so far? The first 3 episodes.
I gotta give it like an 8 out of 10.
I give it a 9 out of 10.
The animation, they switched to 3D animation for like the monster for some reason, and it doesn't look great.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I didn't like how they incorporated that, but that's largely my only negative.
Yeah, pretty much.
The rest of it is really cool.
I like the level of detail when they get beamed in the face. It like goes hyper realistic, so you can see just how much it hurt.
Oh yeah. Not as much as getting badgered in the nuts 5 times though. All right, that is Chainsaw Man and BlueLock.
Yeah.
We might end up doing another little segment with them as it sort of wraps up the core, or however many episodes there will be. But for now, definitely check it out. We're going to continue to watch it and continue to enjoy it.
That's right.
But
unless there's some strange turn of events.
True. Hopefully, yeah, I guess that's a good point. Hopefully neither of them derail so much. They're off on such a good footing.
Yeah.
So with that, we have a question of the week from Rain to wrap up this week's episode.
Here we go. If you could add any character to Super Smash Bros., who would you add?
Good thing episode 50 comes out next week, so you can get a refresh on what Rain sounds like.
In hindsight, realize how bad that one was.
At least you admit that one.
Oh, man.
I immediately know who I want to add, and I also think it's super likely in the future that we'll get him. Ooh. I want Waluigi.
Oh, he's not in Smash?
He's not in Smash.
Wow.
He's not in Smash as a playable character. He's like a trophy. He's like an assist character. He's like all these other things, but he's not a playable character, and I'm heated.
Ridiculous.
Because he is easily the best of the 4 main characters, that being Mario, Wario, Luigi, and Waluigi.
Right.
Waluigi's the best one. Wario is a playable character.
What? That's even worse.
Yeah, I know. The fiends are gatekeeping the most powerful character from us.
The nerve.
I'm so mad. Who do you have?
The farmer from Harvest Moon.
That's a really good one, actually. I mean, they already added Steve from Minecraft.
See? What?
Yes. Yeah. Steve from Minecraft is a playable character, and it's in the DLC.
I feel like you're fucking with me. Why?
I'm not.
Minecraft Steve?
I don't know, man.
Oh,
but they have...
Man.
He's also apparently, like, kind of OP.
Oh, wow.
And, I guess you can also be, like, different skins.
And shit. Alex.
Yeah. Is that who that is?
Yeah, the girl.
Yeah. But, like, his main gimmick, I sent a picture. His main gimmick is he mines for materials, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you can make walls, you can craft tools so you can, like, mine things better. You're literally playing Minecraft in Super Smash Bros.
This looks so ridiculous.
You can drop anvils on people.
Anvils!
It is truly one of the most, like, weirdest things that they've ever done.
Amazing.
Oh, you can, like, spawn a minecart and shoot it at people so it carries them off a cliff. Really funny. But given that they have Steve, they should definitely add the farmer from...
Harvest Moon.
Yeah, I was going to say Stardew Valley.
They got the right vibes.
I know,
they're
right?
Classic.
Sure, they are. It's true. But yeah, that seems like it could happen, honestly. I think they're open... I mean, they're obviously opening up more to adding characters not of their sort of IP.
Yeah.
Right, with like Steve and everything. I don't know. I don't fully remember if there's anybody else outside, but there definitely could be, and there should be.
Yeah. Is Sora in Smash?
I don't think so.
That makes sense. Because I know there's Final Fantasy characters in Smash, and he's technically one, but he's also a Disney character.
I think he's a DLC character.
Oh, that.
Yeah. He's a DLC character.
Oh, the hell they must have gone through.
Right.
Because, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 itself went through hell. Just because it was partially owned by Disney.
Kingdom Hearts is a mess, I'll be honest.
Oh, you leave it alone.
Listen, I didn't say it's bad, I just said it's a mess.
It's doing its best.
I have heard of enough lore about this to know that it is a mess. Yeah, Sora's a DLC character.
Nice.
Oh, another. You want to hear even one of the worst ones? Worse than Steve?
Tell me.
The piranha plant from Mario.
What?
Yeah.
The piranha plant got in before Waluigi.
I know, the nerve. It's literally just the piranha plant in a ceramic flower pot.
Ridiculous.
It is so atrocious, man. Anyways, let us know on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, any of the comments who you would like to see added to Super Smash Bros. That's not already in. I'll also accept characters outside the Nintendo IP like Steve.
Yeah.
But I won't accept anybody from Demon Slayer.
Fair enough. They haven't earned that spot.
They haven't earned anything.
If any anime characters earned that spot, it's like Naruto or Luffy.
Naruto, the dead child.
Yeah! He's just sleeping!
Oh, yeah, well, with that, Wolf, why don't you take it away?
I'm Wolf, taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 49 of You're Ridiculous. If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you're watching on any other podcast website, be sure to hit the plus and give us 5 stars to support the show. If you liked all that, be sure to follow us across the internet, the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7AngryWasps with an E on Twitter, and you can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W in all kinds of places. We hope to see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye.
Tune in to episode 50.
Yeah!
We got a lot of shit planned. Bye.
Bye.